Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my TJ Toe Tab channel, and this is Tips with T. And my name is TJ Tao. Kind of a weird setting. I'm at my sister's crib. I didn't bring my microphone, so it might be like a little echoey in here. I'm in the basement, so hopefully it's not too loud. But yeah, if y'all hear noises, because I got my boy Kenzo with me right here, he's being a little loud. He's playing this kennel. But yeah, um, what should I update you guys on? My knee. Okay, so so knee update. I went to my physical therapy. Was it last Monday or was it Tuesday or Wednesday? One of those days. Went, got it checked up. It was just dude, my guy Thomas was just going through like protocols. He's just going through like exercises with me, asking me questions, moving my kneecap around, watching my swelling, seeing if it's like got like some like flow in it and not like kind of getting infected or any like clogs, and all that. And then, after all that, he talked to me through like the phases of like our physical therapy, like basically like, oh, this first week we're gonna do this, the second week, fourth week, fifth week, and for like the next like however long I'm gonna need to be there with them. So and then I also like I learned a few exercises to do on my own at home, like kind of bending my knee all the way to 90 degrees. I'm using like a towel to kind of like bring my knee up just to 90 degrees because he said since I had like a meniscus surgery, I don't want to really, hurt mess up the stitchings on this. So I gotta like really get to 90, just keep it there because any much more, he told me like it's gonna, at this point, straight at this point, it's gonna keep hitting my meniscus area. So he doesn't want that at all. So I'm like, cool, 90 degrees. Maybe 91, 92, it's all cool as long as like I'm not really overdoing it, overdoing that range of motion. And then he got this one exercise for me where like I'm like trying to activate my quads. So like boom, I have it like this, and I'm like trying to flex it, like. But at the moment my knee is still kind of numbish, so I don't really feel the flexion until like maybe the next round when I do it again. I can really see my muscle really like activating in it. So that's a good sign. And I've been doing this for like maybe 5 straight days, and I've been seeing a lot of improvements in my range of motion. Like when I used to do it off the bat, like it used to be like hella tight, and then when I used to and then like I just did it this morning, like I was able to get to like 90 degrees after like maybe 2 tries. Just like first one was a little tight, and then second one, boom, I'll just push it all the way through 90. Just like baby steps. We don't want to. I don't want to do anything crazy to it right now. Just like baby steps, kind of moving, keeping it active, and all that. But that's just my knee process. That's just like the recovery process, and every time I do this, I'm gonna update you guys because I am a football guy. Like I am an athletic dude, so it's good for me to keep you guys updated about this type of thing in my life. But anyways, what else do you guys do I should update you guys about? um Nothing much. I'm still in my sister's crib because like I can't really go and cook and clean for myself right now. The only thing I could do is like what I can right now, just like kind of moving around, staying off my feet as much as I can. Uh just I finally get to shower, so I'll be showering like every other day because I don't want to get my stitches too wet because I don't want them to get too irritated or to a point that it gets infected, so I'm just trying to do on things that I can do to keep myself, you know, cool, calm. But I think after this week, I should be going back to my own crib and just taking care of myself, having my friends come over to visit me, you know. I think that's about it. But thank you guys for listening to my podcast and showing a lot of love. No more super emotional things, but if it gets emotional, I don't think I got enough tears for all that, But if it does, it will come out. But for real though, thank you guys for rocking with me for this long. What's this, episode 6? Yeah. And this is like what, 6 weeks into it, and I'm really happy that you guys are like rocking with me through this all because I never thought that a lot of people would really tune in and actually watch it through all the way. You know, I thought that people would rather watch my clips, but then like I'll have people come around and hitting me up and they're like, "Oh, dude, I just got done watching your podcast. Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Thank you for doing this. I hope you're doing well, bro." Blah blah blah. I'm like, damn, these are things that are like towards the end. You know, I thought that people would just kind of watch like good 5 10 minutes, but then sometimes I forget like. There's a lot of caring people in the world that actually like want you to succeed, actually want you to actually uh what is it, succeed and actually like strive through these things, like actually go up, so I'm glad to have those people in my life, and I'm glad to have like new people come and tune in the channel, because I do get recommended to YouTube now, so that's a good thing. And also for TikTok, whenever I clip my shit and I put on TikTok, I got a new faces coming around, because like when I before I started my podcast, I had like 385 followers on TikTok. And then when I started posting my clips, I went from 385 to 505 followers. And like I said, that's not a lot, but to me, having that boost in like in the span of like 6 weeks, or 5 to 6 weeks, that's like I gotta keep going, because like of course, like if I get traction, then people like seeing what I do, so that's why I want to keep doing this, and I want to keep improving, and voicing my opinions, not about everything, but just voicing my opinions about like things about life, things about relationships, friendships, home life, and all that, anything to help you guys do whatever you guys going on, because me, I don't have all the answers, but at least I can help you digest your thoughts and your thinkings, because sometimes you need a second opinion. Sometimes you need to hear from somebody who's not your own thoughts, somebody who actually sits down and really feel everything, and that's the topic of this video, is to not run away from your feelings, because at this moment in my life, I can't run away from anything. I can't run away from my thoughts of my past relationships. I can't run away from problems. I can't escape from my thoughts, because when I'm laying in bed here, if I'm going upstairs and nobody's home and I'm just watching TV, all I have is my thoughts and my feelings now. I can't get in my car, play some music, and like just drive. I can't like drive or go play football, go see my friends as often as I want to, so all I have are these thoughts in my head where like I can't get rid of. I can't run away. I can't use football to distract. I can't use substance like freaking alcohol to escape from it, because I can't, like I can't drink right now. I can't play ball. I can't drive to go work out, like if I do want to work out, I can just do like push-ups and sit-ups and things like that. But is it really fulfilling? Is it really actually taking me to an area where I want to forget these thoughts? No, it's not. That's why I had to like really sit with myself and be like, no, TJ, like you had to sit with these thoughts. Maybe God is putting me in this season of rest plus non-escapable from these thoughts, so I can really, really feel everything, because it's easy when you have people right there, or things right there, distractions right there, just for you to walk up to it. I can't walk to shit right now, like my knee is healing. So I can't really just get up and like distract myself, Because like the other night, like I said, I was chilling in bed and I was going through my feelings, and it was late at night and I couldn't really like really think to myself, until I really thought to myself, and I was like, look, TJ, it's like you have to feel these things. I have to feel these feelings, these feelings about this person, this feeling about my situation. I can't simply just like run away from it right now. I have to feel everything, because if I don't, then it's gonna consistently be there to bother me every single time I escape from it and I come back, because like if I got my water bottle here as my like my thoughts and everything, I can easily, if I and what else is over here that I can fucking use, this glove. This glove is my escape. This glove is right there. Every time I move to this glove and try to like and avoid my problems, every time I go to this glove, and then whenever this is a temporary thing, it goes away and I go back to this, and it's still full. You see, these are my thoughts, and this water bottle is still full. You know what you should do? You should take it. You should take it. You should take it and drain it, You should feel it, because when the bottle is full of your thoughts, when you're full of everything, you're full of anger, sadness, confusion, everything, take it, digest it. Actually really feel everything, you know? Feel it going down your system, feel it going down your head to your heart, you know? Because like at this moment of your life when you're trying to escape from these things, you're trying to avoid it, you know? And avoiding things is not gonna help you moving on from like whatever you went through in your past, you know? And I know it's gonna hurt. I know it hurts. Okay, I know it does. Okay, I firsthand I know it hurts to really deal with things on your own. You know, when you can't really call up your friends, you can't really get anywhere to distract yourself. You know, but in order to grow as a person, in order to be a better person, you have to face these things. You know, you have to sit there and actually be like, okay, well, if I can't run away, let me just see what's wrong. Why am I feeling this way? Why am I thinking this way? You know, and then when you do actually think about it, you find like you find the problem, and there's always solutions, you know. Like for me, like let's say like my last relationship, I can sit here and say I did this, I did that, I did this wrong, I did that wrong, you know. But then like why would I sit there and pound myself like that when I could just be like, look, yeah, I did that wrong, but maybe next time I'll do it right, you know. Like maybe next time I shouldn't react this way, maybe next time, you know. So stop thinking about the things like that and letting it hurt you, instead finding the solution to actually be a better person from it, you know. Because like let's say like you're like, oh damn, I want to be with this person so bad, I want to be this person's husband, I want to be this person's wife, you know, and I want to have a big wedding, I want to have kids with this person, I want to have this and that, I want to get a big house, cars and all that with this person, and this person is not in your life anymore, you know, that person is gone. All right, and now you're sitting there like watching them have that life. You're watching them find somebody. You're watching them be happy with somebody. You're watching them get married. You know, you're watching them having kids. You're watching all this shit happen for them. But what about you? You know, why are you sitting here pouting about this person when you have you? You know, like I can sit here all day and be like, damn, I could have changed. Man, I could have done this. Man, I could have done that. But I can't. I can't no more. Even if look, like even if she gave me a chance, maybe it could have happened, but then like it's not gonna happen. So why would I sit here and pout and be like, damn, like and kind of self-sabotage myself and not open myself to anybody, you know? And instead of feeling sorry for myself and sitting here with regret, sitting here with all these emotions, like let me use that energy to for myself, you know. Let me use those thoughts for myself. She got she got a man's now. Let me go find a girl. She getting married. I'm gonna get married. She got a house. I'm gonna get a house. She doing all these things. I'm gonna do all these things myself. It's not to compare or anything. You just gotta simply say goodbye and move on and handle your life, you know, and not sit and pout about the situation you had with that somebody, because months, years will go by and you're still feeling that way, and that person's not even thinking about you no more, you know. That person is completely moved on, and you're sitting there with your feelings of like doubt, your feelings of regret, your feelings of, oh, I should have done better. But you should do better for yourself and move the fuck on, you know. Move on and handle your business, you know. Don't matter about what this person is doing, don't matter what they're gonna do with that person, no matter what, like how happy they are, what you go find your happiness, you know. You go find that person that you've been wanting, the person that will choose you every single day, that person that will see your flaws and say, no, you are perfect, you know. Somebody like that in your life, no, somebody that you find like that in your life coming on the next coming soon to you, they're gonna love you for you, you know, because you trying to sit here with your thoughts with regret and everything, like I said, and you're sitting in misery while this person is living in happiness. This person's literally moved on from you, and you're sitting here all pouting and shit. Like that's not gonna help you at all, you know. So actually, legit, move on. Help yourself, bro. Help yourself. Sometimes we gotta get up by ourselves, you know. What my brother used to say to my friends is, what he told my friends is, with me, whenever I fall, whenever I stumble, whenever I'm on my face, he doesn't help me up. He says, get up, bro. Get up. You know? Get yourself up. Because this is just how life is, man. You know, you see a little kid that falls on the floor, he's gonna cry a little bit, you know. And every time you help him up, every time you help the little kid up, he's gonna expect you to help him all the time, you know. So when you watch that kid fall and he falls and he gets up and he's crying, nobody's helping him, but then he finally gets up on himself, he's gonna be a better kid now, because every time he falls, he's just gonna get up, you know? So with me, what I'm trying to say is every time in life hits you down, every time situationships, relationship with friends, anything in life hits you and you fall down to the floor, dude, who cares? Get up and move, bro. Get up and move on with your life, okay? That person is simply not there no more, okay? There's a reason, okay? There, you might, even if it's your fault, even if it's you who wanted to leave, at that moment you had a choice, you know, at that moment you made the choice, so run with it, okay? Run with it and move, okay? They're gonna live their life, you go live your life, okay? Nobody is telling you to stop, nobody's telling you to stay put and wait, okay? If God truly wants you to be with this person, God will let y'all move on in life no matter how far you guys are, no matter if you guys are on different continents or different fucking places, different state, you know. If it is in God's will, God will bring you guys back together, okay? But I'm not trying to tell you this to enlighten you, to build up courage and be like, oh, there's hope. Sometimes there's not hope. That's why I'm telling you, just move on. And if it's on God's will, He will bring you guys together somehow, some way, you know. So if you truly do love this person, it's cliche, but let them go, all right? Okay, let them go and feel everything in your heart. Feel the pain of regret. Feel the pain of missing them. Feel the pain of smelling them. Feel the pain of not holding them no more, kissing them no more. Okay, holding on to their to their hands, holding on to their body, holding on to them when you guys go to sleep. You know, like every aspect of feel from that person, or every aspect of feel of that friend, of feel of that opportunity that you had, a job opportunity that you had, or anything that you want to do. Feel it. Feel the sadness because it's only gonna help you. Okay, and I don't want you guys to think that that I don't want you guys to think that that person leaving you is them hating you, all right? This person left or you left for a reason, okay? You guys had just simply had a split, you know? Maybe it's because y'all weren't compatible, you know? Sometimes somebody's not happy. Sometimes somebody changes in ways that it's not them anymore, you know? And you know, sometimes people just get distracted, you know, like people be in their ears a lot, you know. So at the end of the day, who cares? Move on, right? Like I said, they can be happy with their life. You be happy with your life. Move forward. Find somebody. Okay. There's a lot of people in this life that wants you. Okay. There's a lot of people in this life that actually wants to be with you, who admires you, and you just don't even know yet, you know, until they actually pull up and show you that. And I just want y'all to have hope that you guys will find love again. You guys will actually thrive. Okay. And with that person, all right, just don't fuck up, okay? Just don't fuck up. Find somebody you're willing to go through the storm with, all right? Um, Sometimes I do talk a lot about relationships, but I feel like this is a hard top. This is a good topic to talk about because I feel like a lot of people need to hear this, you know, even if they are in a relationship or not. Because like at the end of the day, people just want to be loved. People just want to be with somebody. People just want to feel like wanted. People just want to feel everything everything around love because it's beautiful, you know, being loved and being cared by somebody is beautiful, you know. And a lot of people can sit here and say, oh, I'm single because of choice. That's cool too, you know. You love yourself, you know, because like at the end of the day, what if even if this person's not in your life, choose to love yourself, find yourself, okay? because because loving yourself should be the main thing in that relationship. They should not, your love for yourself should not be that person loving you, all right? Because a lot of people fail to see that. A lot of people fail to see that somebody loving them is not their worth, you know? Sometimes it's themselves finding their worth within them to be like, okay, well, I know my worth, you know, and this person who's loving me, I know I'm worth this love, you know, and I love this person for doing that for me, okay? All right, what's another thing I could talk about? Feelings, you know. Um, sometimes using distractions. I'm not saying distractions are a bad thing, okay? Like friends, family, you know, a sport or a fucking job or anything. Sometimes it helps, okay? Sometimes stepping away from it, from that thought, stepping away from that feeling is good sometimes, you know, because you don't want to feel it all the time. You don't want to feel it 24/7. You just want to distract yourself, you know. I'm not in the bed quiet and not really doing nothing. I'm in my bed doom scrolling or watching motivational videos or even just watching YouTube videos just to distract my mind, kind of build up that dopamine of like distraction. So I'm not saying that I'm not saying it's a bad thing for the distraction. I'm saying that sometimes feel instead of ignoring that, you should feel it. You should feel why you're feeling sad today, why you're even crying about this person, why are you even thinking about this person. Actually sit with yourself and reflect with yourself why. Because there's always a reason why you're feeling this way right now. Maybe you saw a movie with a couple, maybe you saw like friends hanging out and that shit hit you feel some type of way because you thought about an old friend, or like even me being around my family right now and seeing them around their significant others, like, does it hurt? Not in the hurt of like you think that I'm jealous. I'm saying like it hurts that wow, like I see that they go through their problems and they solve it and they look happy together. And I'm there like, damn, I should have, you know, at that moment you're kind of like, damn, I should have like thugged it out with this person because like maybe we could have been happy right here, because I always tell people this: don't let your feel like in my last podcast, don't let your feelings determine your whole relationship. Kind of like don't let one bad moment fuck it up for the whole time that y'all gonna be together. Because if y'all plan to be together for like 50, 60 plus years, y'all gonna have to thug it out, man. Y'all gonna have to thug it out for all those 50, 60 years, and maybe even thug it out for the next 5 years, and in the next like 45 to 55 years from there, it'll be straight happiness. You never know, man. Like just don't let bad things ruin it all. What the main goal is, the main goal is to live happily together. Okay, this is what God put us on this earth for, to find our rib, to find our Eve. Us Adam finding our Eve, and just locking it in and making kids. This is all he wants, is creation. Finding that one person and create life with that person. So like I said, don't self sabotage yourself and you with somebody. Okay, if it's toxic and they like beating you or they like mentally draining you or any all that, and they're not really reciprocating emotional support to you, maybe you gotta talk to with that person and have a serious talk. Because I love to talk about love, and love is all I think about sometimes. I'm not trying to be like X right now, but I'm trying to be like it is like true. Like sometimes having pride and ego in a relationship ruins it. I'm first handed. I know this because like to be in a relationship, sometimes you have to drop all that shit. I know like a lot of girls be like girl power, a lot of guys be like masculine, but then like at the end of the day, just be vulnerable with each other. Like I know a lot of you guys been hurt, and I don't want you guys to find that hurt and let that hurt change your heart. Because that's not God. God never wants you to change your heart. God wants you to stay true to yourself, to love the same as you always loved. Because after my first relationship, my heart changed, and I used to be a vulnerable person. I used to really, really, really be into this person so much to the point that I would cry every time I leave her. And like and then when that relationship ended, I closed my heart, and then like my ex had to go through all these things where like, oh, she used to be like, oh, I want to see you cry. I want to see you be vulnerable. And I used to be like, oh, that's weird. Why does she want to see me like that? Because I know a lot of you guys feel that way too, where like you're like, why the fuck does she want to see me sad? Like, does she want to pity me? Does she want to see me like weak? But then at the end of the day, that's not what your partner wants. Your partner just wants to see you fully like embrace every aspect of emotions to her. Like if you can show anger, you can show love, you can show vulnerability. So I want you guys to understand, like, having high pride and ego is gonna kill your relationship. Just drop all that shit and be like, baby, I miss you, I don't want you to leave me. Sometimes you just want to get on your knees and kind of like love them, kind of like worship them some type of way, because that's your love, that's your baby, right? Like my goal for every relationship I go to is like I want to make everybody jealous of her. I want everybody to see how much I love her and be like, oh my god, like TJ treats her so well. Like I feel so jealous because that should be me. And I'm like, yeah, but then no, this is my girl right here that I'm showing love to. I'm posting her up, I'm flaking her up, I'm hyping her up and everything. Like I want every person to see me with my girl and be like, wow, I'm jealous of her. Because that's the goal, right? Like that should be like a reciprocation thing where like she should make every guy jealous of me and I should make every girl jealous of her. And that's just us, you know, because we love each other, you know. And that's the type of relationship that I'm chasing for. Is like I want to find somebody who can earn that shit for me, you know. Like this shit is just not handed out. This shit is something that you gotta earn. And like I said, with my last relationship, I had to it took me a lot for me to drop everything. And then when I did drop everything, I lost. You know, I already lost the battle and the war. So me being like that was basically like just a wake up call for me because like it's a canon moment for us guys, you know, because like we go through our first one where like we are really true and truly in love with this person, and then they dump us or like shit goes down and it just doesn't go our way, and we just change our heart, and our heart changes to the point that to the next one we treat them so not so bad, but like you choose to hide a part of yourself from them, and they see it, you know, they see it like, why is he hiding this part from me? And then when you finally show them, it's already too late, you know. So I don't want you guys to be like me, or like you guys showing that type of that side of you so late. Show that side of her not as soon as you can, but whenever it is appropriate, you know, when you guys when in closed doors, behind curtains, really be like that person for her, you know? Because me, it's not like I didn't try to be. It's more like I didn't I didn't see the need to be that person anymore, you know, until I lost that until I lost that person. And that's when I'm like, oh, okay, well, that was stupid of me, you know. And I'm sitting here in regret and like, oh, like I should have done better, you know. But it's okay. Like I said, like whoever walks in my life will get all of me and everything of me. And and I think that's just what my ex would want me to do anyways, you know. So we gonna move and we're gonna continue being happy because like why would I sit here, like I said in the beginning, why would I sit here in misery watching my ex move on and I'm still in the same place, you know? Sometimes I gotta pick up my own pieces and fix it myself this time, you know? Sometimes I gotta really get up and move as much as it hurts. I gotta get up and move because like if I don't move, I won't get to where I want to be in life, you know. That's why I feel my spirit rising again. I feel my smile being brighter. I see my eyes being brighter. I see my my tone of it, my energy is like just kind of like getting back to where I want to be, you know. And like even if I'm hurt, like physically hurt with my knee, I still find like a little happiness in between of like who I truly am and who I want to be, you know, because the goal is still there. The goal is always there for me to strive and everything. Okay. It's just like it's up to you to need to want to move. You can have all these distractions, you can have all these friends to motivate you to move on from that person, but ultimately it comes down to you. Like you have to move on. Like you have to tell yourself that you got to move and you got to go, okay? If you got to be that if you are that person that listens to your friends and say move on and you listen to them move on, then that's not you. Okay, you need to listen to yourself and tell yourself you need to move on because you can always listen to external things, you know, but then it comes internally from you and out internally to out to actually be like, yeah, I need to move on, you know. So that energy has to come from you and not from distractions. Like me, I don't want to use a girl right now to kind of real quick. I don't want to use a girl to distract me from my feelings. I don't want to use a girl to distract me from, you know, kind of find a rebound, you know, because like at the end of the day, I don't want to treat guys' daughters that way. You know, I don't want to find a girl and like lily dag with them for like a week and then be bored and throw them away. You know, I actually do want to find the next one for me because I'm pretty sure the next one will be my wife. You know, because I don't want to play around. I don't want to sleep around. I don't want to fuck around, you know, because like at the end of the day, it's not gonna really truly satisfy my soul and bring me closer to God. I'm only just satisfying my flesh and my sins and not really finding myself in that way. Okay, I'm only just proving to the devil that I'm worthy for God, you know. And a lot of people say this, you know, sometimes God doesn't really give you the person that you want in your life because you're not the person that he will want to bring his daughters around, you know, to actually lay down to actually bring his somebody who worships him and somebody who will like give you everything that you want, but you won't be able to give them everything that you want, you know, because like you're not that person yet. So I'm taking this moment of time to actually elevate myself, not just speaking, but actually being a great person again, and like actually being a vulnerable person, actually, you know, being a good boyfriend to husband material, and like at the moment, I don't see that for me. That's why like most of the time I do push like a lot of females away because I don't want to really make them sit and wait for me. But then like because I'm just so like used to being alone. Sometimes like I really do like being alone. And then when I find somebody who makes me being alone like boring, somebody who's somebody who I yearn and who I would miss so much that I can't be by myself sometimes, that's when it's different. And that's when they hit different. That's when like I want to be with this person more. So when I find that person, it was locked, bro. It's locked because fuck I look like trying to find I said, fuck, I look like trying to fuck around and find out, consistently breaking hearts, consistently breaking my own heart, consistently just kind of using myself up and not really being the man that I should be for a wife. Because in this world, we should all strive to really be married. And a lot of people, they don't because like they just don't believe in marriage no more because marriage is scary. But because like being married is like saying goodbye to the bachelor life, the bachelorette life, saying goodbye to, you know, wandering eyes, saying goodbye to everything. It's basically signing your single life away permanently. And a lot of people, that's scary. And, of course, divorce happens, but then, like, I don't want that. Like, if I want to be with somebody next, I want to legit be eyes only on that person, really following God's words and having him in the center of our relationship instead of it just being like me. And I want like us to thrive together. And yeah, we'll have problems, but like those problems should not be like so though any type of problems, like we should just always find that it's us against that problem and not us versing each other. So at the end of the day, like I'm just gonna keep focused on myself and really doing things that really make me happy. And although I can't escape from my thoughts, although I can't really do much to kind of distract myself in the ways that I would like to be, it's not a bad thing also because like I'm glad that I'm able to sit in this moment of my life to really feel everything, from like even from the first ex to my second one, and that's like damn, I was like, I have a lot to think. And then like friendship wise, I'm like, damn, well, how can I be a good friend? How can I be a better friend to the people that I want to keep in my life? How can I be a better brother to my family? A better son to my mom and dad? Like I'm sitting here thinking about all these things now. I'm like, I was like, my buddy told me, he's like, maybe this is a moment of like life where like God is making you focus more on love than yourself, because like my why for why I strive so much was so like selfish. Like it's all for me. But then now my why is turning out to be like my why is because my family supports me. My why is because my friends supports me and they see the light in me. My why is having a community and fans around me that sees me and like sees what I can put out to the world. And that's the reason why I want to keep going, you see? So now that my perspective has changed, like yeah, the money and everything is good, but then like without love, none of that is anything. Sometimes people the saying go sometimes people say this like they're so rich, all they have is money. I mean, they're so poor, all they have is money. And I don't want to be like that. I don't want to live in a house big as hell by myself. I want that house to be filled with love. I want that house to be filled with kids, filled with my wife. My wife turning a house to a home, me coming in and see my kids run up to me, house, cars, everything, acres of land. Like that's the dream, bro. And that's what I want. And that's what I'm gonna strive to be and strive to do. And like I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, I'm a male dominant person. I don't need all these things when truly I do. When all my pride and egos drop, that's truly what I want in my heart, is a family, as a generational wealth. It's like people around me that I can take care of, because I'm in my low right now, dude. I'm in my low, and I'm seeing all my friends who are willing to help and take care of me. Oh, call me if you need anything. Text me if you need anything. I'm always here. I love you, bro. Like my family taking care of me, and it's like they don't have much, but they can do a lot for me right now. And when I have a lot, I can, even though like like, and when I have a lot, I want to do as much as I can for them because like they love me, and like I can be a dumbass kid, I can be a naive brother, but at least they love me, and at least they show me like a godly love of like unconditional, like the unconditional love, and like for with my next girl, I want her to continue to see who I am and what I strive to be, but then also really be there in my low moments, because like those moments really truly show me like who she is, and that if she's willing to go through it all with me, you know what I mean? So like feel those things, bro. Like feel everything, the pain, the hurt, the rejections, the redirections and everything like in your life, because like you can't run away from it as much as you want to. You can't run away because like when you run away, you come back, it's the noise just gets louder, the noise just gets like way too much, and that's why a lot of people add more distractions when it comes to like drugs, alcohol, people, girls, guys, sex, sin, like that's when the noise becomes louder. So I want people to strive to sit and dwell in it just for a moment. I'm not saying all day, but for a moment, to actually see what God is trying to put in your life right now, trying to like sit you down and be like, no, sit and listen. Sit and listen to these thoughts. Okay. Sometimes these thoughts hurt, but it's what you need. Yeah. For example, you know how sometimes your parents like they lecture you and they lecture you for hours. They lecture you for a car ride and all that. Sometimes us kids we don't want to listen to those things because it's like it's annoying because we're not trying to listen to our parents talk. We're not trying to listen to them lecture us. But then later on in life, you're like, oh, I'm glad that my dad told me that. I'm glad that my mom sat me down and told me these things because, like, I understand it now, Like, you don't understand it now, but later you will. I forgot the verse name and the verse and chapters and everything, but I'll probably put it down right here. But, but like I said, us questioning it and not accepting like where we are in life, we're just gonna continue to self-sabotage ourselves, Me trying to sit here and trying to understand why I'm trying to think these thoughts and like actually hurting myself just thinking about these things, it's only gonna hurt more, instead of just trying to accept these thoughts and move on, okay? Because I'm getting so good at this now to the point that like it's getting nullified, it's getting little, these bumpy roads are getting smoother, these crashing waves are getting softer, to the point that I'm in like a phase of like treading water, I'm able to kind of like stay afloat now, instead of like boom boom like fucking getting way back and forth, like I'm in that moment where like God is like telling me to walk on water and I drown and I slip in because like I was so scared, But then like I need to focus on him right now because he will never let me drown and he saved me from drowning, okay? Because with these thoughts, I was drowning in my thoughts. But then like I need to have my focus on God whole time and Jesus Christ because like they are the answer. They are the true answer, If I just continue to focus on them and focus on Jesus Christ because he's everything. If I continue to focus on him instead of these problems that I have in my life, I think I'll get through it. I think everybody would get through it because you are choosing him and not your own thoughts. You're not choosing to understand these thoughts. You're choosing to accept it, and you're moving forward from it. So I want all you guys to understand, like, yeah, it is scary. It is scary to be alone sometimes. It is scary to like sit in your thoughts and actually like be like, damn, like I don't want to be in this moment right now, but you kind of have to because you gotta go through the storm to actually become a different person, a different man, a different woman. If you're sitting quietly all the time, you're sitting peacefully all the time, are you really gonna grow as a person? No, you're not, maybe, but not as advanced as this, not as advanced as you used to actually be in the storm and watching it from afar, so be in it, dwell in it, actually let it change you as a person because you could be a better person out of it, these moments actually show you who you really are. It will make or break you, level you up in some type of way, so don't try to sit here and be tough guy, tough girl all the time. Kind of sometimes you can cry in the storm too. Sometimes you can suffer in the storm, but at the end of the day, it will pass. Okay, it will pass, and you'll be a better person from it. Okay, I don't want you guys to ignore it no more. Okay, I want you guys to actually face it with God this time. All right, because He will always help you through it. He will always take care of you. All right. And I don't want to make this a long podcast. I was talking for a good minute, but if anything, what I can leave you guys with right now is to face it, face your feelings, face the regret, face everything that you did in the past, and don't bring it to the future because God is not in the past no more. God is in the future waiting for you, okay? So continue to be a better person, because sometimes your past don't define who you are, okay? It's who you choose to be moving forward defines who you are, all right? So continue to be that person, Sometimes you can fake it till you make it, You don't have to make it real, just make it exist so you can actually move forward in your life, Not I'm not telling you to be perfect when you move forward. I'm telling you to change moving forward, okay? I want you to be a better person, a better man, a better brother, sister, boyfriend, girlfriend moving forward, okay? Although it hurts, although you were in a moment of like regret and in a moment of hurt, in a moment of like everything crashing down on you, it was meant for a good reason. And like I said, you won't know until later on. So don't question it, understand. Don't even question it. Don't even try to understand it. Just accept and move forward, because if you go forward with God, then He will take you to the right areas and the right places that you want to go. Okay, you choosing to suffer all the time, sometimes it doesn't help, but you choosing to like dwell in it and like actually accept what's going on, you will be a better person, Because sometimes people don't make it out of those things, and you did. And I'm really proud of you for that, okay? And I didn't think I was gonna make it through those things, but I did. And I'm so proud of myself because like my friends and family saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, okay? They saw like you'll be all right, TJ. Like these are things that's just gonna happen in life. Maybe you'll go through even worse things, but right now I think you got it, bro. Like don't let this thing happen. Don't let this little hiccup hurt you forever, and it's not hurting me forever no more. So that's why I'm able to move forward. And I know that you guys can do that too. Okay. Whatever is in, I'm not a special person. Okay. Whatever's in me, y'all got it, bro. Y'all probably got it more than me. All right. So continue to keep kicking and breathing, waking up every morning, having gratitude that you were even here in this earth. Because sometimes because a lot of times not a lot of people woke up today, all right? So be grateful that you actually got another chance at life, another chance to improve on yourself, another chance to actually be better, all right? And I don't want to take up too much of your time, but that's just the podcast for today. I don't want to make this too long and all that, but you know uh next week, better setting, better everything. But I feel like this is a good aesthetic to have. Hopefully I wasn't too echoey or anything like that. Hopefully y'all didn't hear Kenzo too much. But yeah, I think I'm gonna sign off now. And like I said, thank you guys for joining today's podcast with Tips with T. Keep breathing, keep doing you, eat good, drink your water, you know. Yeah, my name's TJ Tao, and peace, y'all. See you in the next one.